Rogue might look like the ultimate badass. Southern charm, skunk streak hair, powers that can flatten a tank. But don't let that leather jacket fool you. Her life? It's less Avengers level awesome and more permanent emotional lockdown with a splash of trauma. Because there's a catch. If Rogue touches you, even accidentally, she'll absorb your memories, your powers, and possibly your entire will to live. That's right, her love language is coma. You think dating is hard? Try explaining to your boyfriend that one makeout session might kill him. Rogue's life is basically one long episode of The Bachelor, Touch of Death Edition. And sure, she can fly, and she's super strong, but she also hasn't felt skin-to-skin contact since puberty. Which is kind of funny. Oh god, this is so dark, I have to laugh. Wait. But here's where it gets worse and weirder. Because her power doesn't just ruin her relationships, it wrecks her identity, her sanity, and her chance at literally any form of normal human intimacy. We're talking trauma, drama, and a telepathic buffet of other people's secrets she never asked to taste. So if you're ready to find out why Rogue's powers are a cosmic joke with a dark punchline, stay right there. By the end of this video, you're gonna thank the universe you weren't born with Rogue's powers, unless you're into leather gloves for celibacy and absorbing the mental baggage of everyone you touch. Rogue's mutant power is simple. Touch someone and absorb everything. Their powers, memories, trauma, and probably their guilty pleasure playlist. It's like getting intimate and instantly downloading their hard drive, except it fries both yours and theirs. Sounds badass, right? Borrow Wolverine's healing or Cyclops' laser eyes without the drama? In reality, it's less superhero and more walking biological hazard. Rogue is basically the human version of a do not touch sign, with southern sass. If she were a Disney princess, her animal sidekick would be a quarantine sign. No hugs, no handshakes, no high fives. Every skin-to-skin moment is Russian roulette with someone else's soul. She absorbs powers and mental baggage, including teenage boy level weirdness. Touch someone too long and they go limp like an unplugged Wi-Fi router. Rogue, she gets stuck with their emotional baggage and none of the fun. Her life is a constant game of don't accidentally steal someone's identity. Great for developing anxiety or a leather glove fetish. Possibly both. And forget romance. Rogue's dating options boils down to date someone who's cool with zero physical contact forever. Date someone who isn't and oops, coma. Or cry into her gloves every Valentine's Day. Her power doesn't just hate love, it nukes it from orbit. And it all started with one kiss. Next, we dive into the tragic teenage moment where everything changed. And no, there were no prom photos. Adolescence, acne, awkwardness, emotional chaos, and if you're Rogue, the added bonus of accidentally kissing your boyfriend into a coma. Her powers first activated during a romantic moment. One kiss with Cody, and boom, lights out. Not a nap, not a faint. We're talking full-on, call his mom and cancel prom, coma. Imagine finally kissing your crush and needing an ambulance. That kiss flipped her world upside down. 1 second she's a shy southern girl. The next she's got a panic button for skin. Her parents horrified. Her boyfriend still unconscious. While other teens were worried about acne, Rogue had to worry about knocking people out cold from locker bumps. She went from crushes to casualties. And forget guidance counselors. No one was ready for, sorry, I can't dissect the frog. I might absorb its soul. Other girls were experimenting with eyeliner and not committing involuntary psychic manslaughter. That one kiss didn't just trigger her powers. It detonated her shot at normal life. From that moment on, everything became fear of touch, of connection, of accidentally breaking someone's brain with a hug. She ran. Of course she did. When your skin is a biohazard, you start seeing hugs as lethal weapons. Isolation became survival. But when you just think it couldn't get worse, it does. Because Rogue doesn't just absorb people's powers. She starts absorbing their thoughts too. Yeah, teenage drama is bad enough. Try hearing someone's inner monologue while you're just trying to eat your cereal. Absorbing powers with a touch? Already messed up. But Rogue's mutation goes deeper, straight into your soul's glove compartment. Because she doesn't just take powers, she takes memories, thoughts, emotions. Rogue is basically a walking download bar for emotional damage. One handshake and now she's got your childhood trauma, your Spotify regrets, your commitment issues, all playing in her head like a cursed playlist on shuffle. Now imagine dating. 3 seconds in and she already knows the guy ghosted his last 3 girlfriends, lied about being vegan, and cries when Mufasa dies. Hi, nice to meet you. Also, call your dad. And here's the kicker. The stronger the emotion, the louder it screams. Absorb someone mid-panic attack, she gets the full emotional orchestra, panic, pain, and probably a Taylor Swift lyric. Her brain's like a shared Google Doc, except everyone has editing access, and the notifications never stop. Some voices fade, others linger, and the worst ones, they start to sound like her. Their fears become hers, their shame becomes nightmares. It's less mind reader and more accidental possession with a side of PTSD. And if you think that doesn't screw with your identity, just wait. Because next, we're diving into the personality crisis buffet, where Rogue becomes a tragic, leather-clad mixtape of everyone she's ever touched. By now, Rogue's not just collecting powers like Pokemon. She's collecting people, their memories, voices, attitudes, all swirling in her brain like an uninvited Comic-Con after-party that never ends. Case in point, Carol Danvers. Yes, that Carol Danvers. Before the billion-dollar franchise. In the comics, Rogue holds on too long and absorbs everything. Carol's powers, memories, even her personality. Rogue literally starts thinking she's Carol, who likes blueberry pancakes, me, or some breakfast ghost. She talks like her, acts like her, even develops crushes Carol had. That's not romance. That's psychological identity theft with breakfast nostalgia. And the worst part, it never fully goes away. Rogue's mind becomes a group chat she can't mute, full of ex-enemies, old lovers, and probably Logan's emotional rants about pain and whiskey. Sometimes, in moments of stress, Rogue even channels them. She doesn't just lose control of her powers, she risks losing herself, one accidental download at a time. And if you think that's chaos, just wait until we peek into her love life, a tragic romance built entirely on chemistry, flirting, and zero physical contact. Let's talk about Rogue's love life, or more accurately, her romantic Greek tragedy, written by horny fanfiction authors and redacted by the CDC. Enter Gambit, real name Rennie LeBeau. Cajun accent, devilish grin, enough sexual tension to short-circuit Cerebro. He's smooth, flirty, and throws exploding cards like he's auditioning for a Vegas show. Here's what happens when you mix James Bond, street magic, and raw pheromones. And Rogue, she falls hard. Which, of course, is a disaster. For Rogue, intimacy means hazmat suits and trauma. So, what do? They flirt, get close, pull back, repeat. It's the slowest burning, will they, won't they, where the answer is always, they won't, unless someone brought a defibrillator. Sure, they had moments, thanks to power dampeners, dream sequences, or alternate timelines, but they never last. Rogue can't guarantee she won't knock Remy out cold the next time things get steamy. Their relationship is a loop of passion, guilt, and more sexual frustration than the internet circa dial-up. It's poetic and cruel. Because Rogue isn't avoiding love out of choice. She's doing it out of fear. Fear that one happy moment could cost her everything. And Gambit, he stays. The world's most supportive biohazard risk. This isn't just romance, it's suffering with style. But we're not done spiraling, because next up, the kind of loneliness that hits even when you're not alone. You're in a room full of superhumans, glowing, teleporting, dating. And then there's Rogue. They're laughing, hugging, training, some even date, with actual physical contact. It's a vibe. Now zoom in on Rogue. In the corner, fully covered, watching. Because no matter how included she is, she's always one touch away from disaster. One mistake from draining someone she loves. She's part of the team, but always at arm's length. Literally. And don't let the sass fool you. That gets heavy. Imagine never getting a comforting hand on your shoulder, never a hug after battle, flinching every time someone reaches out. That's not just lonely. That's emotional starvation. She wears sarcasm like armor, tough outside, unraveling inside. Because how do you say, "Hey team, I'm spiraling because I can't do basic human stuff like touch someone without a body count"? Rogue isn't just an outsider, she's the outsider among outcasts. And just when you think that loneliness might break her, she holds it together. Somehow. But we're not done yet, because next up, we dive into the most bizarre side effect of Rogue's powers. She's the human version of incognito mode. And yes, it's just as weird and hilarious as it sounds. One touch and Rogue gets everything, even the secrets you won't tell a therapist. She doesn't pick and choose, she just absorbs. It's like your mind went full airdrop and she accidentally hit accept all. Awkward? Sure, but it's way worse than awkward. She's a psychic sponge, permanently soaked in other people's drama. It's all in her head, like a mutant TMZ with zero chill. Now imagine being her. Mid-mission, mid-focus, and bam! Someone's repressed memories of wetting themselves at age 7 slaps her in the brain. Why? Because they brushed past her elbow. And this isn't fleeting. These secrets stick. Some fade, others linger like bad cologne. Her mind becomes a confessional booth with no off switch. Rogue's not just living her life, she's carrying everyone else's skeletons around like emotional baggage with frequent flyer miles. And the wildest part, nobody talks about it. No therapy circle, no support, just silence. And no pats on the back, obviously. And another day of pretending her brain isn't a mental haunted house. This isn't just a party trick gone wrong. It's a full-blown psychic curse. One that makes normal life impossible. And speaking of normal life, the normal life she'll never have, let's dig into all the small, everyday things Rogue can't do, and why those might hurt more than any villain ever could. Because being X-Men means sacrifice. But being Rogue, it's next level cruel. Most mutants trade normal lives for superpowers. Rogue's powers nuke normal life, then roast marshmallows over the wreckage. Let's talk basics. No handshakes, no hugs, no family cuddles or casual skin contact. Tinder date? Imagine opening with, "Hey, I'd love to kiss you, but there's a slight coma risk." Pinot Noir? Weddings? Off the table. First dance? Nope. Honeymoon? Only if you're into latex, emotional damage, and never touching. Even the tiny stuff, brushing past someone in line, helping someone up, high-fiving after a win, all of it's dangerous. Her skin is a biohazard with a heartbeat. Might as well tattoo. Touch equals seizures, trauma, and identity theft. Across her forehead. Sure, she could fake connection, wrap herself in hazmat couture, and call it a love life, but that's not living. And the real gut punch? She didn't ask for this. There's no off switch, no magic serum, just gloves, long sleeves, and the knowledge that her body is a loaded weapon pointed at everyone she loves. She watches everyone else live freely, and no one can fix her. But here's where it gets even darker. Because most people, with this curse, they'd go full supervillain within a week. Let's be real, if you had Rogue's powers, you'd be a villain coded by midweek. First kiss, coma. Every touch, a potential soul suck. And thanks to Mystique, her shape-shifting, manipulation-happy foster mom, Rogue did start out evil, joined the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. Evil in the name, not subtle. And honestly, who could blame her? Anger's easier than loneliness. She could have ruled the world with a handshake, but she didn't. She joined the XMen, fights beside people who get to love, touch, live, while she stands on the sidelines wrapped in gloves and self-control. Every hug she can't have, she powers through. No bitterness, just unshakable strength. Rogue had the origin story of a villain and still chose to be a hero. Rogue's powers aren't just tragic, they're symbolic. She's the human version of, I love you but please don't touch me. Every time she reaches out, she risks hurting someone. Her affection is a loaded weapon. One wrong move and boom! Coma. Trauma, identity theft. It's intimacy with a safety warning. She craves connection but lives in fear of it. That's what makes Rogue hit so deep. Her curse isn't supervillains or explosions. It's the heartbreak of wanting love and knowing she might destroy it. She doesn't just wear gloves, she wears guilt every damn day. And the wildest part, she still chooses kindness. And if that doesn't earn your respect, I don't know what will. If you enjoyed this emotional breakdown with a splash of chaos, hit that like button like you're Rogue and the thumbs up is somehow safe to touch. And don't forget to subscribe because we've got plenty more tragic, hilarious deep dives coming your way. Drop a comment below and tell us, if you had Rogue's powers for one day, who's the first person you're touching? No judgment, okay? Maybe a little judgment. Thanks for watching, legends. See you in the next one.